So, very good morning, my dear students. So, once again, welcome to grade 12 accountancy class. Okay, so we are now in August month, correct? So, as August, you know already, this month they are going to celebrate Independence Day, correct? But this in this situation, so the Independence Day you will celebrate in your home. So, you got only time freedom, correct? So, that's why very important as available time, how you are going to utilize properly. So, that you have to keep in your mind, correct? So we started the previous session, the chapter 1, accounting for share capital, correct? So under that, before the share capital, where the share capital will come. So coming under as a company, so as you know very well, what's the meaning of the company, correct? Then what are the features of the company? The characteristics of the company, correct? Then different kinds of the company. So before company, what's the difference between partnership and company, correct? So different form of organization. So what are the different way from the partnership and company? So what are the benefits you get when you go for the partnership? Similarly, what are the benefits you got it? Go for the company, correct? Thereafter, we know what are three kinds of company, correct? One is a one-person company, thereafter private company, thereafter public company, correct? Then as synopsis, you know all the differences under the as one-person company and private company and public company, correct? That's what discussed the previous session. So what is the meaning of the company? So today we're going to discuss how to start the company, correct? Incorporation of the company, correct? That is very important. Incorporation of a company. Suppose when two or more person, they first of all they're planning to start a business, correct? That's what here as incorporation of the company, we can make it 4 classification. First, the promotion, how to promote the company. Thereafter, how we are going to incorporation or registration of a company, correct? Then the capital subscription. So what is the meaning of the capital subscription here? That's what we're going to discuss. Thereafter, the commencement of business, correct? So before that, so what is promotion? See, a person or a group of persons agree to start a business in the form of a company. Okay, that's what. Suppose somebody plan to start the business in the form of company. So who are called? These persons are called promoters. Correct? These persons are called promoters. So who is the promoters here? They simple. A person or group of persons agree to start business in the form of a company. So these persons are called promoters. So person P promoters. Okay, just to have idea. Okay, so why not going to start a business under the form of the company? So these persons are called promoters. They have idea. Correct. That's what here. Very important thing. How you will get the promotion of the company. Correct. So thereafter, it's very important. So what is the meaning of incorporation or registration of a company? Here, correct. Here, what's the registration of a company? Or incorporation. As a company, the main word is incorporation of a company. Correct. So here, see name of the proposed company approved from register of companies. Correct. So ROC. So first of all, you have to fix the name clause. Correct. So what's the name of the company? Okay. After proposed company appeared from the name of the proposed company approved from register of companies. So the ROC, register of companies, the registrar has to approve your company name. So what is the main important thing? Whether your company name is existing or copy of any other name. Suppose same name for 2 or 3 more company, what will happen? The confusion will come in a public as a customer. Correct. That's why the name is very, very important. That's what you study in memorandum clause. The name clause is very, very important. Correct. That's what here. Name of the proposed company approved from register of companies. So what are going to submit? Correct. That is very important. First one, memorandum of association. Correct. The 5 clauses consist of memorandum of association. That's what name clause, liability clause, object clause. Correct. That's what the very important one, memorandum of association. Okay, first important document. Thereafter, articles of association. So what's the meaning of articles of association? It will consist of the affairs of the business or management of the business, how the business are going to conduct, the steps and procedures, methods, correct. All the information consists of articles of association, correct. That's why the second important document. Thereafter, the consent of first directors to act as a directors. Okay, so moreover the directors, they have to consent as a director, the first director. they are ready to become a director. You know already as a private company, minimum director how many, maximum director how many, correct? Similarly, public company, so minimum must be 3 director, then maximum should not exceed 15, correct? That's what here, the third important point, consent, the point is very important, correct? Consent of first directors to act as a directors. Thereafter, the registered companies give a declaration. Okay, they have to follow all the rules and regulations preempted by the Companies Act 2013. Okay, after satisfaction of the registered companies, they will issue what? That is called certificate of incorporation. Okay, they will give what certificate? Certificate of incorporation. Okay, now you can proceed for the business. You can start the business. That's what the first signal, issue of certificate of incorporation. That's a declaration given by the registered companies or ROC. That's what the 4 important points under incorporation or registration of the company you have to keep in your mind. So 2 important documents are, one is memorandum of association. You have to clearly give the picture of the company. Second one is articles of association. So management. So what are the management, how the company going to do the business, affairs of the company, management of the company, all the information coming under articles of association. Correct? Then the director, the first director consent to act as a director. Then for declaration given by the registered companies. Okay. For the what is the certificate? Comments, they will give the incorporation, certificate of incorporation. That's a very important word. Certificate of incorporation. Okay. So they will ask one more question. What is the meaning of the certificate of incorporation? Who will give? Correct. That's all the details you have to keep in your mind now itself. Then go for the capital subscription. Then commencement of business. That's what the third and fourth together is a very important point. A company cannot commence its business. Okay, cannot commence its business borrowing power unless, that means what? They can't start it, they can't do the work, correct? The company cannot commence its business or exercise borrowing power unless they want to satisfy 2 important information. First one is what? A declaration is filed by a director with the ROC. Here what is ROC? List of companies. Okay, list of companies for the effect that every subscriber to the memorandum of association, right? Memorandum of association has paid the value of the share. Okay, value of the share. If any agreed to be taken by him, that is very, very important. A person who is ready to get the share, that's what every subscriber to the memorandum of association has paid the value of the share if any agreed to be taken by him. That is very, very important point. That's why I repeat once again. A declaration is filed by a director. So the director gives the declaration with whom? ROC, list of companies. So what is that? To the effect that every subscriber to the memorandum of association has paid the value of the share if any agreed to be taken by him. That is a very, very important point. And second one, the company has filed with the ROC as a list of companies. What? A verification of its registered office. They have to give this verification for the yes, my registered office is here. This is the location. The clear detail. They have to give the report to the whom? Registered companies. The 2 things very, very important for that. To third and fourth, that is capital subscription, commencement of business. That's what the 2 important things. Unless you have to satisfy the 2 important points. A company cannot commence its business or exercise borrowing power unless the 2 important information the director should keep in your mind. Correct? So they have to make it minimum. Every subscriber to the memorandum of association has paid the value of the share. Second point is they have to give the verification report of the register office to the register of companies. Yes, this is my place, location of the office. Correct? This information they are given to the register of companies. So that's what this incorporation of the company has a promotion. Who start the business called as a promoter. How we are going to incorporation of the 4 important points. Thereafter, capital subscription. Year you are going to discuss now next what do you mean by prospectus, correct? Then what do you mean by minimum subscription? Then what do you mean by preliminary expenses? That all the information now we are going to discuss, correct? So just at a glance now, please see, look at it clearly. Then we'll move for the next one. for the minimum subscription and preliminary expenses thereafter. What do you mean by the prospectus? Correct. Okay, so now we move for the prospectus, correct? So you know already what is the meaning of prospectus. For example, you're going to choose a school or college. You want to know the details about the particular school or college, correct? They give you all the establishment of the school, then name of the principal, then details of the teachers, correct? So what are the availability of the courses, correct? Then your rules and regulations. Same manner here as a prospectus. So according to section 2, subsection 70 of the Companies Act. What's the meaning of prospectus? As you know, so any document described or issued as a prospectus. Okay, and includes. So what includes? A red herring prospectus or a shelf prospectus. Shelf means correct. We're keeping some books as a shelf, correct. Give the information as a prospectus, give the full details of the company, correct. The requirement of the fund, how much they want, all the details, correct. So that's what a shelf prospectus or any notice information contains. Then any circular, then any advertisement or other document inviting offers. So why they are giving the prospectus? Very important one. So inviting offers from the public for the subscription or purchase of any securities of the body corporate. That's what through the prospectus they offer a public to buy the shares, correct. Give information that see these are the requirement of the fund we want. Okay, accordingly, yeah, person can be able to read the prospectus detailedly, then you have idea to purchase share or not, correct. That's what the full details about as a prospectus. Say maybe any document, correct. Say inviting as a shelf prospectus or any notice or any circular or any advertisement or other document inviting offers from the public for the subscription or purchase of any securities of the body corporate. Correct. That's why very, very important. The prospectus gives the fulfillment of the company requirement of the fund. Correct. That's what under section 2, subsection 70 of the Companies Act describes what is the meaning of prospectus. That is correct. The prospectus is very, very important one. As you know, already as a student point of view, how you are getting prospectus through school, suppose going to join any college, naturally you will get the prospectus, correct. Same manner here, company through the prospectus inviting the public to buy the shares, correct. Give the information to the public, correct. That's what the prospectus motive, correct. That's what very, very important under the capital subscription and the commencement of business, correct. Then here, very important, what's the meaning of subscription? Correct. As you know, inviting public from the public, here what's the meaning of minimum subscription? The very important word. Again, section 39, subsection 1 of the Companies Act 2013. Okay. Here what's the meaning of minimum subscription? See here, the amount stated in the prospectus, that's what. The money, whatever they mentioned in the prospectus, correct. That must be subscribed and the amount payable on application, correct. Suppose some people are applied through application. So how much money they applied, correct. That's what the amount stated in the prospectus that must be subscribed and the amount payable on application for the amount stated as minimum subscription have been paid to and received by the company. See, what is the money they mentioned in a prospectus? At least a minimum subscription company can be able to collect, correct. That's why maybe check or other instrument. That way it is called minimum subscription, correct. See here, what is the meaning of minimum subscription? What are the portion the company has to collect? That's what they clearly mentioned under SEBI. So what is the SEBI? Securities and Exchange Board of India. That's what I mentioned here clearly. So the regulatory authority, they are the regulatory authority. What is SEBI means? They will control all the companies. That's what here, regulatory authority for listed companies. Here what is the meaning of listed companies? So when you are going for the share market, our company is listed there. That's why it is called, we have a privilege for given for the public to buy our company share. That's what listed company, unlisted company. Okay, so listed company means they will follow all the requirements of the Companies Act 2013. That's why it is called listed companies. So for us as a privilege, okay, the public can have a clear image about the company. Well, once a company became a listed company, that's what under SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India, the regulatory authority for listed companies, they prescribes that the company must receive what is the minimum subscription. So must receive minimum subscription at least 90% of the shares issued, and subscription before it allots the shares. Suppose I'm going to allot a share for you. For example, when you apply for the share, so I want to receive at least 90% of the minimum share. Then only I move for the next level allotment of share after the application. So later on we'll discuss the meaning of what is the meaning of share. So what is the allotment, everything, correct? Here, what is the important criteria of minimum subscription under SEBI, Security Exchange Board of India, as a regulatory authority, given the listed company should at least minimum subscription 90% of the company must receive minimum subscription. 90% of the shares issued for subscription before it allots the shares. So before going for allotment of shares, they want to receive at least 90% of the share what they are going for subscription by the public. That is a very, very important point they mentioned under SEBI. That's why here, as a prospectus, through the prospectus, you should know what is the meaning of minimum subscription, and through the minimum subscription, how much you are going to collect before going for the allotment. Correct. What's the minimum? Suppose a company applied for the public, so not even get the minimum subscription. That's the meaning for allotment of shares. Correct. That is very, very important point. You should achieve the minimum subscription. Then only next level for allotment of shares. Correct. That's what very, very important point under as a prospectus point of view. Thereafter, minimum subscription. The minimum subscription, how much they mentioned, 90% of the shares issued for subscription before it's allot the shares. Okay, so before allotment of share, you want to receive as a company 90% of the share subscription. Correct. That's what here. Then finally, one important point. What's the meaning of preliminary expenses? Correct. So what is the meaning of preliminary expenses? Nothing but what? What is the preliminary expenses? The expenses incurred for incorporating of the company. Suppose we said as a promoters, the two or more person come together to start a business, they are called promoters. So initially, for initiative, they will take it, correct? So we are going for starting of the company, they are spending some expenses. That is called preliminary expenses, or before incorporating, they will meet some expenses. That is called preliminary expenses, correct? So what is the meaning of the preliminary expenses here? Maybe registration fee paid to the register of companies, coming under preliminary expenses. Thereafter, legal expenses, correct? So because you are going to register, so we have to consult with the lawyer, the legal expenses, whether you are going to follow, you want to prepare the documents, correct? Memorandum of association, articles of association. For that, definitely legal expenses you are going to be, correct? And third one, public issue expenses. That's what through the prospectus, you want to collect money from the public for the minimum subscription, correct? For that expenses. So what the issue expenses means? We want to publish in the newspaper, correct? For the advertisement about our company, to requirement of the fund required. So how much you are going to collect, all the information, what is the application, money for each share, correct? That's all the information coming under public issue expenses. So here public issue means, so who will do the prospectus? Mostly public company, correct? As a public company only, have an offer inviting public, from the public to collect money. Correct? That is very, very important point. That's what here we discussed what is the meaning of the prospectus and minimum subscription. That minimum subscription, what is the percentage of 90% of the company must receive minimum subscription, then only to move for the allotment. So very important point. What is the meaning of preliminary expenses? So it is called preliminary expenses because it is expense incurred for the incorporation of the company. Okay, for starting or initiation of the company or meeting expense is called preliminary expenses. This preliminary expenses are going to return off. It is going to return off under security premium reserve. For example, so this is going to securities, going to learn later, securities premium reserve. Okay, this reserve is called security premium reserve. For example, once you have the security premium reserve under section 52, subsection 2 of the Companies Act 2013. We will see later what's the meaning of security premium reserve. So this expense is going to return off with the help of security premium reserve in a particular profit and loss account. For the first year going to start, suppose we have security premium reserve, these expenses are going to return off. You can utilize for this help of this reserve, security premium reserve. That I'm going to learn. For security premium reserve, what are the other expenses how we are going to incur? How we are going to utilize for the security premium reserve under section 52, subsection 2. That things we will discuss later. Correct? Now understood for the year. Prospectus, minimum subscription, and through SEBI, the minimum subscription amount may be 90% of subscription should be collected by the company. Then only before going for allotment, we have to collect 90% of the minimum subscription. Thereafter, what is the meaning of preliminary expenses? Correct. So, what is the meaning of preliminary expenses? What are the expenses coming under preliminary expenses? Maybe registration fees paid to the register companies, then legal expenses, then public issue expenses. All the expenses are going to incur under the help of security premium reserve. You can say under section 52, subsection 2, they will clearly mention the procedures, how we are going to utilize for the particular expenses. That's what the, just to see that for the all the information in this session now. Okay, now we'll see the very important session as our heading, correct? What is that? Accounting for share capital. That's what. So what's the meaning of share capital of a company? Correct? That's what now we are going to discuss our main part. That's a share capital. Here what is capital? You know, as a business, you require money. That's why it is called capital. But here as a share capital, what's the meaning? The capital of a company is divided into units of smaller denomination. So when you move for the public, they can't give it bulk amount, correct? That's what it will make it as a number of units, divided into number of units, a smaller denomination. Maybe 1 rupee or 2 rupee or 5 rupee or 10 or 100. That's what the denomination, different. So that each unit is called what? Share. I understood the share capital. So part of money. A small unit is called share. Right? That's what I repeat once again. The capital of a company is divided into units of smaller denomination. Maybe 1 rupee, 2 rupee or 5 rupees or 10 or even 100. Correct? That's what the each unit, small unit is called as a share. Correct? That's what it is called. Maybe the 10 rupees, we will say that is called what? Nominal value of shares or face value of shares. For example, 100 rupees, so 1 unit is called 100 rupees. Correct? That is called nominal or face value of the share. Correct? Maybe 5 rupees or 10 rupees, that particular unit is called face value of the share. Nominal value of the share. So understood the meaning of the share. So there are two types of share, you know, as here equity share. Under section 43, subsection 1, they clearly mention equity share. Okay, that we will discuss later. Thereafter, it's very important, preference share. The two types of share, it is mentioned under section 43 of the Companies Act. There are two kinds of share. One is equity share, then another is preference share. So as a equity share, section 43, subsection 1. As a preferential share, preference share, section 43, subsection B of the Companies Act 2013. Here, what is the meaning of preference? The name itself, you know, preference. So as you know, as your side, as a student, you have to give the preference. Now, what is your main preference for learning the subject? Correct. So you have to, in this age, you have to learn the first preference. Correct. Your first duty. Similarly, here, as a preference share, why it is called preference? They have to make it two preferential rights. So holder, a shareholder will get two preferential rights. They become a preference share, a preferential shareholder. Correct. So what is the first right? The right to receive dividend to be paid as a fixed amount before it's paid to equity shareholder. For example, you are a preferential shareholder. So you will get the fixed amount of dividend. As you know, dividend means what? When you buy shares, the company will give you dividend, correct? How the best example, when you deposit in the bank, you will get interest. Similarly, we already discussed this topic, issue of share, correct? Issue of share, correct? The amount, what is the share capital? The amount that the company receives towards the share capital from issue of share. The issue of share already discussed where? The cash flow statement. Under what activity? Coming under financing activity. Even there we discussed the proposed dividend, correct? The dividend. So what is the meaning of dividend? When you buy shares, you get dividend. There are two types of dividend. One is interim dividend. What is interim dividend? During the financial year of the company, you can get the dividend. What is proposed dividend? After end of the financial year, the directors declare the some portion of the money from the available profits. They declare as a dividend. Correct? That is the dividend here. Right to receive dividend to be paid as a fixed amount. For example, 10% preference share. The 10%. So definitely you will get the dividend before allotment to the shareholder. Before it's paid to equity shareholder. So before equity shareholder, the preference shareholder first get the dividend. That is the first preferential right. What is second one? The return of capital on the winding up. That is very important. See, winding up of the company. For example, company going to become winding up. They want to close the business. The return of capital. So you want to return back first to whom? The preference shareholder. Before going to give to the equity shareholder. That's what they clearly mentioned. The second important right, return of capital on the winding up of the company before that of equity shares. You understood? That's a two preferential right. Say preferential shareholder will get dividend first before declaration money given to the equity shareholder. Similarly, same manner, return of capital also, the preference shareholder will get first before given money to the equity shareholder. That's what the two important preference are right. Here, shareholder can become preference shareholder under section 43, subsection B of the Companies Act 2013. Understood? That's what the preference shareholder. Here, there are preference shareholder can classify in four heading. And the first coming under dividend point of view. Correct. That's what we're going to discuss now. According to dividend point of view, then participation in surplus profits. For allocation of profits, surplus profits. Okay. So what are the different kinds of the preference shareholder? Then third one is convertibility. Under convertibility or the preference shareholder classification. Then fourth one is redemption. So there are four heading, maybe under dividend point of view or participation in surplus profits. Third one is convertibility. Fourth one is redemption. Okay. Under the four headings, how the preference shareholder become the classification. That we are going to discuss one by one. Now understood here. So what's the meaning of capital of the company? The amount that the company receives towards share capital from issue of shares. We get finance through issue of shares. Maybe equity shareholder or preference shareholder. When a person becomes preference shareholder, they want to make it two important rights. At the time, definitely they will get the fixed dividend before dividend paid to the equity shareholder. Second important one, return of capital at the time of winding up. So they will get first as a preference shareholder before capital given to the equity shareholder. So there are four classification of under heading for what preference shareholder can be classified into four important heading. Maybe first one is according to dividend point of view. Second one is distribution of available profits. Participation in surplus profit. That is very important. The participation is a word in surplus profit. Third one is according to convertibility. Fourth one is by redemption. That's what I'm going to discuss for under first one, preference shareholder. Under section C43, subsection B of the Companies Act. Okay. The equity shares, section 43, subsection 1. So as you know, the preference shares. Okay, the classes of preference shares. See, there is already first dividend. According to dividend point of view, we can classify it into cumulative preference shares. See, cumulative preference shares, non-cumulative preference shares. Correct? See, what is the meaning of cumulative preference shares? For example, a right to receive arrears of dividend. Okay, arrears of dividend before dividend is paid to equity shareholder. For example, preference shareholders coming under cumulative preference shares. For example, so 2018 and 2019, they are unable to get dividend. For example, say just 50,000. Okay. Now we are in 2020, 50,000. We are going to be this year. This 50,000, this 2 years, totally around 1 lakh. So due to availability of profit, the surplus of profit is very less, they are unable to get dividend for previous 2 years, maybe 2018 and 2019. But suppose they are coming under cumulative preference shares, they can get that arrears of dividend, that 50,000, 1 lakh plus current year 50,000. That's what the idea here. Cumulative preference shares a right to receive arrears of dividend before dividend is paid to equity shareholder. Okay, that's why it is called coming under cumulative preference shares. So even any arrears of dividend, later on they can able to get it for the current year. That's what the example here I given. Correct. That's what the cumulative preference shares. So what is the opposite? Just a non-cumulative preference shares. So they do not carry the right to receive any arrears of dividend. Suppose they are coming under non-cumulative preference shares, they could not get this too because non-cumulative preference shares. So they are unable to get arrears of dividend. Was unable to get previous 2 years. They will get only the current year 50,000. You understood? Cumulative preference shares, non-cumulative preference shares coming under the head of dividend. That is the, so that's under dividend to classification. Then coming for participation in surplus profits. That is very, very important. See, as a participating preference rights, it can classify into participating preference shares, non-participating preference shares. What is the meaning of participating preference shares? See, under the articles of association of a company, what they mention may provide that after dividend has been paid to whom? Equity shareholder. That's why shortly written. Equity shareholders. The holder of preference shares will also have the right to participate in the remaining profit. Even though you distributed dividend or profit to the equity shareholder, thereafter any surplus available, that surplus, this participating preference shares have right to get that particular portion. That's why they're telling that articles of association of a company may provide that after dividend has been paid to the equity shareholder, suppose the holder of preference shares will also have right to participate in the remaining profits, any surplus profits, they have a right to get it. That's what they call participating preference shares. So naturally, what is the opposite? Non-participating preference shares, they do not carry the right to participate the surplus profits. That's the opposite. As a participating preference shares, any surplus available even though distributed to equity shareholder, they can get it. But non-participating preference shares, they don't get any right for the any surplus profits after declaration of equity shareholder. That's what the year 2 classification. One is participating preference shares, other is non-participating preference shares coming under participation in surplus profits. Total discussed before. Correct. Now the very important one, convertibility. Under convertibility under preference shares, one is convertible preference shares. Okay, convertible preference shares. Other is opposite, non-convertible preference shares. What is the meaning of convertible preference shares? Simple. See, a carry a right to be converted into equity share. A preference shares have a chance, have a right to convert into equity share. That's why it is called convertible preference share. Okay, a preference shareholder, suppose later on they think that so I am going for equity shareholder. Because why become equity shareholder? They will get the more dividend, correct, according to the available profits. Maybe they will later on change their mind. That is a possibility. When that possibility happen, once he is a convertible preference shares, it's coming under convertible preference shares, you have right to convert into equity share. Suppose what is the meaning of non-convertible preference shares? They do not carry right to convert in a equity share. They can't convert. As a still they are a preference share. That's it is called non-convertibility. As a convertibility, one is like enable to convertible preference share. So as a preference shareholder can convert it into equity share. Correct. That's it is called convertible preference share. But here, non-convertible preference share, they cannot convert. So no, do not carry right to convert into preferential share to the equity share. That's why these two classification on the convertibility point of view. So what we have discussed, 6, correct. Now finally, redemption. This is very, very important. What is the meaning of redemption? Maybe you can say redeemable preference shares. It is called redeemable preference shares and irredeemable preference shares. Here, what is the meaning of redeemable preference shares? See, as a preference shares, one point of time, we are going to repay. That's why it is called redeemable preference share. That's why I clearly mentioned that time specified. Suppose we collected some fund, money through in the form of preference share, we will declare that now itself after 4th year. For example, we are in 2020. I am going to declare 2024. I am going to give your money, maybe some 10 lakhs. Okay, that is called coming under redeemable preference shares. That's why time specified. That too is a very important point. See, the time specified is not exceeding 20 years from the date of issue. So before 20 years, we are going to repay. So the repayment of money is called redemption of preference share. That's why it is called redeemable preference share. But as a irredeemable preference share, only at the time of winding up only, a preference shareholder get money by the company. Correct. That's why here, no time limit, only the time of winding up. Suppose company want to close, then only the company can give money to the irredeemable preference shares. Okay, they can't get it during the period of the earning of the company. Correct. That's what here, as a redemption of preference share, after a particular point of time, we mentioned any 4 year, 5 year, 6 year, tenure of the time specified. Later on, yeah, preference shareholder get their money coming under redeemable preference share. That's what we already discussed. Here, redemption of preference share under where? Under cash flow statement, which activity? Finance activity. Correct. Repayment of preference shares. Correct. Understood. That's what here, this redeemable preference share. Okay. Irredeemable preference share. That's what, just what I had IR. Irredeemable preference share. Just the opposite. They will get money only at the time of winding up of the company. Correct. That's what totally 8 classification discussed coming under preference shares. One is according to dividend, maybe cumulative preference shares, non-cumulative preference shares. Then coming under participation in surplus profit, participation preference shares, non-participation preference shares. Under the convertibility, convertible preference shares, non-convertible preference shares. Coming under finally at the redemption, redeemable preference shares, irredeemable preference shares. Totally 8 classes of preference shares. Correct. Mostly this is the most chances for redeemable preference shares. So company mostly not encouraged for irredeemable preference shares. Correct. That is the information under discussion about classes of preference shares. Totally 8 classification under 8 kinds of preference shares under 4 main classification coming under dividend, then participation in surplus profit, then convertibility, then redemption. That's what the different 8 classes of preference shares. Okay, that is the synopsis I given here clearly. Just to see that. See, that's what this session we discussed many points under accounting for share capital. So we discussed about today from incorporation of the company. You know the 4 classification is what? One is coming under promotion, who became a promoter, correct. Thereafter, incorporation of the company or registration of the company, what are the documents going to submit, then capital subscription, then commencement of business, correct. Under that, what is the meaning of share capital, correct. Before that, prospectus. What's the meaning of prospectus? And minimum subscription in SEBI, what they have mentioned. So 90% of the subscription we have to collect. Then only they go for the allotment of shares. Correct. Thereafter, what is the meaning of preliminary expenses? What are the expenses coming under preliminary expenses? How the preliminary expenses utilized with the help of security premium reserve. Correct. Then there are 2 kinds of shares. Under what is the meaning of equity share capital and preference share capital? Then what is the meaning of preference shares and equity shares? what are different classes of preference shares, all the points we discussed for this session. For next session onwards, discuss about the equity shares and remaining discussion. Okay, so I hope that this session is very, very important for the theory point of view. Definitely you have to make it to see the video continuously, reset in your mind, especially for the wherever section we mentioned. Correct? That's why for memories of the section is also very, very important for improvement about your higher classes. Correct? That's why I hope that this session definitely helpful for you for our later on for the other revision classes also. Okay. Thank you very much.